Hi there, Neil from Small Business Big Ideas with today's Small Business Marketing Tips video, which today is day 35 and it's all about creating a Facebook business page. If you have been following the series and you have got a Facebook business page or you've been advertising on Facebook, you'll already have spotted one slight mistake with the order of this list, because last week we talked about advertising on Facebook. And you can't do that without a business page. So, again, not my list, but not particularly worth stressing over, but just an interesting one. Anyway, if you have your own Facebook profile, and that's where you see all the cute cat pics and share photos of delicious cakes that you're about to eat with all your friends and family, then you will need to create a separate Facebook business page. And it's worth spelling out the terminology. So your cute cat pics personal stuff is your profile, and your business page is your page. So understand that, and it's easier to grasp the differences. So very easy to set up a page. You go on the top bar of your Facebook page. On the right hand side there's a drop down, and it will say create page, and it will guide you through the process. It'll allow you to choose what sort of a business you want to be. For example, a local business or a larger organization. It gives you the option to have what's known as a personality page, and perhaps if you're something like an author or a performer, then perhaps that might be relevant, because that's very much you as the hero. Even if you're something like a coach and the business is very much around you, I would be tempted not to do that and to establish it as a business page, because whilst the business might be you as the coach at the moment, you may hope to scale it so that you bring other people on board. You might need to take the focus away from you as a named individual, and what you don't want to do is sort of back yourself into a dead end. So create your page. Facebook will then guide you through what you need to do in terms of creating a picture and a header, and they've recently introduced something called Stories, which gives you the chance to do a little biog. Facebook like you doing what they'd like you to do, so it's always best to fill in as much as you can. Sites like Canva.com have got templates set up so that it makes it really easy to create something which is already formatted for the size that you need. As I said, Facebook will reward you for ticking all the right boxes, but I certainly wouldn't labour it and spend hours and hours and hours doing it. Next, Facebook will probably ask you whether you want to invite your friends to like the page. It's always good to hit the ground running, but one thing I would suggest you think about is, depending on your business and what it is you do, and also how frequently you think you're going to be posting, is it going to be something that really realistically your friends and family are going to be interested in seeing? It might be, it might not. If it isn't, then it's best not to invite them, I would say, because you don't want to be annoying them. I mean, clearly your mum's going to love everything you do because she's your mum, but are you just going to annoy your friends if they're constantly seeing things that aren't relevant to them? So Facebook does allow you to select or deselect who you invite, but I certainly would invite whoever you think might be relevant to your page, because, as I say, it means you can hit the ground running, and there are certain things you can do when you've generated a number of likes that you can't when you just start out. Whilst I'm on that, about people seeing what you post, it's worth dispelling a common myth that many people, if they've not got a business page, will assume that if you post something on the business page and somebody likes your business page, they assume that they will get to see what you've posted. Nothing could be further from the truth, in fact. Less than 1% of people who like your page will probably see what you post. That 1% could rise to 2%, 3%, or perhaps a little bit higher. if you get lots of engagement, if you get lots of people liking it or commenting on it, but you're never, ever, ever going to get up to 50%, 75%, 90% of people seeing it just organically. That's partially because of the fact that there's only so much space in the news feed, and if someone has liked 50 businesses or 100 businesses or even more, then there just isn't going to be space to squeeze everything on. And also Facebook have changed the way their back-end algorithms work to basically promote more stuff from your friends and family. This is a recent change happened back end of 2017, and I think a lot of brands were up in arms about it. Essentially, Facebook is saying they'd had feedback that people were getting a little bit pissed off with too much sort of business content, advertising content, and wanted to go back to when it was more friends and family stuff. I'm not necessarily sure that they're going to be going back to poking people in fish tanks and all that sort of nonsense from really early back in the day, but what they wanted to do was go back to it being connecting you with your friends and family. So realistically, the likelihood of someone seeing your post has been declining year on year for the last number of years, and there are stats out there on the internet if you are so inclined to search them out. But it is reasonably well accepted now that you're looking at less than 1% chance of someone seeing your post organically when you post it. What I mean by organically is you not paying for ads or boosting the post. And the reason Facebook have changed their algorithms is probably because they're wanting to encourage businesses to spend money with them rather than get exposure and awareness for free. I'm not sure if this is the relevant time to talk about it. Ads versus boosted posts. I covered it off recently in the earlier vid, but there are very good reasons for not boosting posts. It tends to be a blunt tool that gives you very limited targeting options, and it doesn't necessarily get your message in front of people who may necessarily be target audience. It tends to get in front of people who just liking things. So there are a couple of other tips coming on in later videos which go into more specific details about your Facebook page, but what I'd suggest is if you haven't already got one for your business, take a bit of time to get it set up and do the little bits and bobs to make it look nice. Don't labour it, don't spend ages on it, but make sure it's nice and it's consistent with everything else that you have produced, printed materials, website, that sort of thing, and then get posting and invite whoever you think is relevant to the page, and it's only when you've got some people liking the page and you're posting content that you're going to start attracting more people. So bit of a basic one today, but hopefully you found it useful. That's today's tip on creating your Facebook business page. Thanks, bye.